Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Man United will sign Rafael Varane or Pau Torres this summer. Rafael Varane wants Man United move. Man United are progressing with the Rafael Varane deal. Real Madrid believe that Varane has agreed terms with Manchester United. Florentino Perez recently gave us an update. He insists that Real Madrid have not received any official bids for Varane. Varane will cost between 40 to 45 million pounds, which is a bargain. There has been rumours of a swap deal between Rafael Varane and Paul Pogba. He said Real Madrid rejected Man United's offer to swap Pogba for Varane. Not so long ago, we had a £50 million bid rejected for Varane. He says Real Madrid were demanding £80 million. We've held talks with Rafael Varane's agents. Varane rejected a 2-year contract extension at Real Madrid. Varane's current contract expires next year. He's refused a contract at Real Madrid. Fabrizio Romano mentioned that not so long ago, but his contract talks with Real Madrid stalled a while ago. But Varane can leave Real Madrid. We went in for Varane 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Woodward was also prepared to sanction a £100 million move for him back in 2018. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced. He's got a great pedigree as a player. He's won 18 major honours at Real Madrid. And he's been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's been with them over 10 years. And he has made over 300 appearances in all competitions. But if Varane came to the Premier League, I can assure he would exceed expectations. And Varane and Harry Maguire would complement each other very, very well in our back line. Pau Torres. You know the news on him. The Manchester Evening News said not so long ago that Man United were making progress to sign Pau Torres. And Man United were working on a deal for Pau Torres. It says the Pau Torres deal is unlikely to be finalised until after the Euros. But recently we'd been dealt a blow in our pursuit of Pau Torres because Pau Torres insisted that he's calm on his future. He said, he's got a contract with Villarreal. He won his first title at the club, and he says, he's focusing on the Euros. Pau Torres has around a €60 million release clause. He's been at Villarreal for a lot of years, risen up their academy. I think he's been their senior squad since like 2016. He's got a contract with Villarreal until 2024. Don't forget he did have a loan spell with Malaga. Anthony Martial and Donny van de Beek are at risk of leaving Man United this summer. Now, a lot of Manchester United fans want Anthony Martial to go because he's no longer good enough to represent the club. We are looking to sell Martial. Obviously, Solskjaer is fed up with his poor attitude. Duncan Castles, who's a journalist and who's close to Man United, he said the other week that Martial was offered to Real Madrid. A season-long loan with an option to buy has been proposed. Martial's agent is looking to move him away from Man United. Martial has been at Man United for 6 years. He's got a contract with us until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Martial has scored 78 goals in 258 games in all competitions. We got Martial in a deal worth £58 million from Monaco back in 2015. He's had, 2 good seasons with us. He was good in his debut season under Van Gaal, and he was good the season before last. He was out with an injury for a while last season. Donny van de Beek, I think we need to offload him. Doesn't get enough opportunities at Manchester United. I recall Donny van de Beek starting 4 games in the league last season. You know, most of his appearances come from the bench. He's made like 36 appearances for us in all competitions. He's only enjoyed 1 full season at Man United. Real Madrid have been in for Van de Beek. Inter Milan actually want him on loan. The other week it said that Van de Beek wanted to go to Barcelona to end his Manchester United misery. And Arsenal also made contact with us over the future of Donny van de Beek, because Arsenal are in search for a central midfielder. Arsenal and Man United have done business with each other before. But I think he does want to remain in the Premier League, Van de Beek. It said not so long ago that he was set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future. And he did get ruled out of the Euros through injury. We got Van de Beek for £40 million last year, with obviously add-ons included. Van de Beek's under contract with Man United until 2025. And he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. I think we're willing to accept around 25 million for Van de Beek as Solskjaer set the exit price. Now, I want to give you some news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. According to Sky via Germany, Man United have submitted a €90 million second offer for Jadon Sancho. Sancho has told his England teammates he's joining Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano said yesterday that Jadon Sancho's transfer to Man United is almost complete. And The Athletic said that Man United are nearing an agreement with Borussia Dortmund for Sancho. But the Jadon Sancho deal is almost agreed between Man United and Borussia Dortmund. So the personal terms are agreed, the agent fees are agreed, and a 5-year contract worth around £350,000 a week is agreed. Jadon Sancho to Man United could be announced at some point this weekend. Said not so long ago that Man United is set to sign Jadon Sancho next week. Apparently Jadon Sancho's medical has been delayed. It said it's likely Jadon Sancho will undergo his medical after England's involvement at Euro 2020. And not so long ago, Borussia Dortmund told us to pay a take it or leave it asking price of 77 million plus add-ons. Borussia Dortmund have made it clear that they want Jadon Sancho's future resolved before they begin their pre-season tour on the 23rd of July. But Man United have been in advanced talks with Borussia Dortmund. At long last, the Jadon Sancho transfer saga is about to end. Because it has been a long running transfer saga, because we've been in for Sancho now for like the last 2 years or so. Dortmund lowered their asking price from what they was demanding last summer. Last summer, Borussia Dortmund's valuation was £108 million. We was reluctant to meet that valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. But last summer, Sancho to Man United was extremely close. Dortmund set a deadline last year. They said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. But he'll be a great signing for Manchester United because he'll fit in our team perfectly. Still young, got a lot of development in him, and Sancho's a player that can create good chances and he can score very, very good goals. Sancho has endured 4 years at Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £7 million in from Man City, and he's got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. But there's always been something in Sancho to Man United because it's been stemming from reliable journalists. Fabrizio Romano's very reliable, and so too is Christian Falk from Bild. I think Solskjaer said he wants 4 more signings when Sancho to Man United is official. It's actually said that Solskjaer's already decided on his transfer targets. He said he wants to strengthen up in 4 positions. But not so long ago, it said that Solskjaer's been told there's no funds to get a centre defensive midfielder. But Solskjaer said he wants around 4 signings in this summer transfer window in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. I'm convinced we can challenge for the title next season, providing that we recruit well in this summer transfer window. But I am expecting Solskjaer to get, the players he wants to recommend in, because our board did say that they'll back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings. Despite the Europa League final loss to Villarreal last season. And obviously Joe Glazer, he promised Manchester United fans that Solskjaer will get the funds that are available. Don't forget, Joe Glazer attended a fans forum on the 4th of June, which was earlier on this month. It was his first attendance in 15, 16 years. Obviously, a lot of United fans were protesting against the Glazers at Old Trafford towards the end of last season, because the Glazers have been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. The Glazers bought Man United for $500 million back in 2005, and they've been at the club for 16 years. Not so long ago, we got our financial results. Our debt risen up to around $443.5 million. Our debt continues to rise, so that is a concern. This summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. But next season is going to be massive for Solskjaer, and I think he is aware of that. Next season will be Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager, because so far he's endured 2 full seasons, and he's been in charge of Man United now for around 30 months, which is over 2 years. I'd say next season Solskjaer's got to win a trophy at Man United if he is to remain Man United manager. Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's like 4 years ago now. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. If we start next season badly, then I think the pressure will be on Solskjaer. I'm expecting Solskjaer to get sacked at some point next season. Who should come in to replace him if we do decide to sack him? I think we need someone in with a proven pedigree and someone who will suit the strappings of the club. To be honest with you, Solskjaer's still lucky to be Manchester United manager. Obviously, with that loss to Villarreal in the Europa League final last season. But the reason Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he would have been sacked by now. You know, Solskjaer endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. I think Ollie does deserve next season. But I can assure he isn't the long-term manager for Man United, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. Obviously, there is United fans that are Ollie out, but there's also United fans that are Ollie in. Solskjaer has a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. Reflecting how long Solskjaer's been with us though, he has gained some managerial experience and he has learnt quite a bit on the job. But he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. Obviously before he was with us, he was at Mulder. He won a few Norwegian titles in that Mulder, but they're not a big club. Ollie endured 2 spells at Mulder, and before then he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. He only endured a short tenure with Cardiff. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting them relegated. And Solskjaer's decision-making's poor as well. You know, in a lot of the games he's managed at Man United, he has been tactically naive. We appointed Ollie in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. The reason we give Solskjaer the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. You know, Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. You know, all he knew when he'd taken over, he had lots to do. And, you know, there's quite a lot of things I've got to credit Solskjaer for. When he got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody is being given their chances. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I'm shocked you've got to turn around and say, you know, Solskjaer's done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Solskjaer has made good signings as Man United manager as well. When Sancho to Man United is official, he would have spent over £300 million. In the summer of 2019, Solskjaer brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Nagalo in on loan. Obviously, Gallo left in January this year. And in the summer of 2020, he brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Palestra loaned him out in January, and Amad Diallo Traore. And yes, Solskjaer has brought quite a few academy players in. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's coming as well. In Solskjaer's first full season, he got us to 3 semi-finals and got us a 3rd place finish. You know, in his second full season, got us a second place finish. Last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League. Last season got us to the Europa League final. I know we didn't win it, but you still got to give him credit for getting us to the Europa League final. Last season got us to the FA Cup quarter final, and he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. So these are the things you've got to give Ole credit for. But I think Ole is our best manager since Ferguson. There is good players at Manchester United, and there's players that have really, really improved. Obviously, Edison Cavani, he's made a fantastic impact since he's come in. I'm glad Cavani's staying for next season. Fabrizio Romano did say towards the end of last season that Cavani had signed a 1-year contract. Mason Greenwood, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been at the club a long time. And last season he signed a 4-year contract. He deserved a new contract though, reflecting on his good performances. Greenwood though did go a long period without scoring. Was it the start of last season we give Mason Greenwood that number 11 shirt? Sometimes we play him on the right and sometimes we play him up top. There could be a problem now with Mason Greenwood though, with obviously Jadon Sancho incoming. Marcus Rashford, I think he's a decent player, but there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve, because Rashford's endured bad periods. I thought he was out of form towards the end of last season, and Rashford's become injury prone at Man United, because he has now sustained quite a few injuries. I think what we've got to do is we've got to keep Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side because that's where he's more effective. Don't really like him on the right-hand side. We've played him there a few times. Not too keen on him up top, but he has produced some good performances when he's played up top. Rashford's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Bruno Fernandes, obviously, he's very, very good as well. He's made a difference in this team. In a lot of Bruno Fernandes' games, he's been very, very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace, but we have overplayed Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes has been at Man United now for like 17, 18 months. He won Player of the Year last season, didn't he? And he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. We got Fernandes in a deal worth just over £67 million from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. But Fernandes made it clear that, he come to Manchester to win trophies and he was absolutely disappointed, when we lost the Europa League final. Paul Pogba, obviously he's improved. We've been getting the best out of Paul Pogba in recent months because he does bring creativity to the team. In quite a few games last season, we played Pogba in an advanced role. He's much better in an advanced role than he is in a deeper role. He was out with a thigh injury for a while at one point, and that was last season, and he sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. Now, to be honest with you, I think Pogba will be happy to stay at Man United as long as we match his ambitions. Pogba did recently say that he has more freedom with France than at Man United. And he set a goal target for next season. I think it said we want around 72 million if we had to offload Pogba in this summer transfer window. Sky Sports News recently said that Man United are in ongoing talks with Paul Pogba's representatives over a new contract. Pogba's current contract expires next year because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. It said we want to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth 104 million. We fear losing Pogba on a free transfer next year. I fear that he's running down his contract to leave on a free, but all he said is hopeful that Paul Pogba will stay and sign a new contract. Pogba's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined. And he's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. And obviously Mino Raiola has been desperate to get Paul Pogba out of the football club. But he's had a long-running transfer saga as Pogba. He's been linked with PSG. Mino Raiola recently held talks with PSG's president. And PSG stepped up their interest. PSG want to partner Pogba with Wijnaldum in their midfield, and Kimpembe says any club would welcome Pogba. Real Madrid have been linked with Pogba. His former club Juventus have been in for him. Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Scott McTominay, he's a decent player as well. But he's not yet on that level where I want him to be at. The question is, can he emulate that level? Certainly needs more time. Still young, got a lot of development in him, like I said. And McTominay's been part of the club for a long time. Just after the first lockdown last year, he signed a 5-year contract with Man United. Luke Shaw, he's improved. Luke Shaw was our best player last season. I've probably got to say last season he was the best player in the Premier League. Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back, despite the arrival of Alex Telles last year. And I'd say Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Shaw's been with us now for like 7 years. Alex Telles, well, I don't really have much of a perception on him because he's hardly played, but in some of the games he was involved in last season, I thought he did well. When we got Telles last year, we expected him to be our first choice left back immediately, but it didn't happen. Got Telles in a deal worth 15.4 million from Porto. Eric Bailly, he's a very, very good centre-half, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly is too injury-prone, so in that aspect, he is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed the new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And Wan-Bissaka, I think he's a good right back. Bissaka's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. But Wan-Bissaka's got to show more attacking intent. But there was some games last season where he got forward well. Defensively, he's always been superb. Dean Henderson, he's a very, very good goalkeeper, and he said not so long ago that Solskjaer's chosen Dean Henderson to be our number 1 goalkeeper for next season, which is the right decision. De Gea, he's been poor in the last couple of years, but despite that, he's still regarded as a very, very good goalkeeper. De Gea could be staying now, because De Gea is determined to win his place back, and he's not sulked since losing his spot to Dean Henderson. And not so long ago, De Gea said he's convinced he'll stay at Man United and be Solskjaer's number 1 next season. De Gea's been long-serving at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club, and like I said, he's had around 8 good years. Mamad Diallo Traore, he looks a very, very good asset for the first team squad. We got him from Atlanta. So there you go. Like I said, we're going to offload players in this summer transfer window. So reflecting on that, our transfer budget will increase. Marcel van der Beek now up for sale. I wanted to get rid of Lingard permanently. I think Dalot and Pereira will get rid of them two permanently. I think we could loan Brandon Williams out in this summer transfer window. I think we need to offload Phil Jones. We need to offload Matic. We need to offload Telles as well. I think Tuanzebe is on his way out of Man United. Tuanzebe seldom plays for us anyway. But like I say, Ole is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. The 3 managers we've sacked since Ferguson was Moyes, Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. And, we're not even really known as a sacking football club. We'll be doing another video soon, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.